Hey everybody, welcome back to another exciting episode of the Stash Report from the Stash Project. This is going to be our September 2021 compilation video. First of all, if you're new to the channel, welcome. Thanks for joining up. We do these at the beginning of every month. I take a look at the expected car and truck automotive releases for any given month. This, of course, again, being September of 2021. So we do have a few kits from the domestic manufacturers. There's always that threat, if you will, that Revell will actually release something to market. Their distribution continues to be an issue, mainly because of how hard it is to get things from China to the United States. The last time we looked at the Port of Long Beach, Port of LA information, there were 40 ships at Anchorage waiting to get into the port to get unloaded, not so much including the boats already in there. So, yeah, things continue to not move in a positive direction in those terms, although this would be a very busy time of the year anyway, as this would be when your majority stock for Christmas would be arriving. So while 40 ships at Anchorage waiting to get in is ridiculous, it would also just be busy in general. So we'll see if we get anything from Revell. Over at round 2, there's one kit release for the month of September, and that is an AMT release. It is the 1964 Ford Galaxy. The what are we calling these things now? We're calling them the Craftsman Plus, right? Yes. I had to roll away and go check my Nova wagon. The Craftsman Plus. So this is basically a curbside, always has been, back since the 1960s. This is the car, if you will, that was involved in the California Combo, or the Cal Combo drag set that has the Galaxy, the Falcon dragster, and the trailer. So this is just the car. Not a heck of a lot more to say about it because it is, again, geez, getting to be, what, 60 years old now? Almost 57 years old. So it's certainly been around a while. It's been released a number of times. Model King did a run of it and everything else like that. So there's nothing new about this. I think they might be printed tires in it, but other than that, and then I think those came with the Cal Drag combo anyway. There's nothing new about this. This is just a way for you to get that specific car without buying all of the associated drag racing paraphernalia. Over at Salvino's JR, of course, the September kit is going to be the Richard Petty 1972 Dodge Charger kit. So the same 71 to 74 Dodge Chargers that they've been doing recently, with a different set of decals to reflect the 1972 season. And then we pop overseas for the rest of this. Over at Tamiya, we're going to get a reissue of the Nissan 350Z Track. That is their sort of, I think it was one trim level above a 350Z in JDM land, as it were. I don't think Track was necessarily a trim level we got here in the United States, but I believe this kit in this format is the one that does come with a left-hand drive, and it is just a reissue, been out of the catalog for a little bit, and with the new Tool 240ZG being out, would not surprise me entirely to see all of their Z kits get a reissue in some form or fashion that are not currently in the catalog anyway. Some of the stuff, you don't think of it still being in production, but like the 2000, the late 90s, 2000s era 300ZX is still in the catalog and things like that. So some of those things won't be reissued because they still exist. Your hobby shop may not have one, but that doesn't mean they couldn't go get one if they wanted to. Over at Fujimi, we get a couple of kits this month. They're reissues of the two NC 2005-2006 era Mazda MX-5s. So you're going to get the regular Mazda MX-5 and the Mazda Speed MX-5. Mazda Speed has some different ground effects, different set of wheels. These do come with an engine insert, so you sort of get the top half of the engine. The under tray is just a singular piece, so there's no bottom to the engine. Decent little kits for what they are. They're the only third-gen MX-5 kits there are, so it's kind of a feast or famine thing with that. You either like them or you don't, and if you don't get a third-gen MX-5. But that mid-2000s era was a pretty good time for Fujimi in general in terms of the quality of their kits and the detail that they included in them. So they're not, again, not bad kits, especially being convertibles. They had to actually do a little work in the interiors, couldn't just throw, flat door panels with no detail on them like they did with some of the cars from that time period. Platts will get you a reissue of the AE92 Corolla 11, the 24-hour Spa livery. This will have window mask added to it. It, of course, will be a Japan-only release because those window masks are not being Window mask kits, I should say, are not being exported outside of Japan. So if you want one, Hobby Search, Hobbylink Japan, or eBay will be your friend on those. Over at Hasegawa, a few kits this month. So you get the reissue of the 240Z, their Rally edition, and this is going to be the 1973, what is known as the Tax Clover Rally winner, and that's was known as, if I can read my own writing here, the GMS Ransom Trophy Rally Series, Japanese only rally series, similar to what they're doing with the 1980s Bluebirds, where they're all Japan rally series. This was an earlier incarnation of that. This car does not have the correct wheels that the real car used. The real car used just a set of what look like steel wheels. So probably shouldn't be too hard to come up with a set of rims for this to replace the 432R rims that come with it from the previous original renderings, I should say, of the 240Z Rally kit, the Safari Rally, and whatnot. So a little bit of a in close, if you will, kind of release there, because I don't know how much appeal a Japanese specific rally car has outside of Japan, but just a new set of decals and a kit that they've had running around since the mid-1990s, so a little bit of free money there, if you will. Reissue of their Lancia Stratos HF, this time in the 1981 Tour de Course winning Chardonnay, which was the privateer team for Lancia back then, winning car. So it's the winner for the 1981 Tour de Course. Again, another reissue of a car that's a kit that's been around for quite a while, with a new set of decals included in it. Reissue of the Mini Crossover, the Clubman, I believe is what that is technically, right? I gotta see if I can see it from here. Can't quite. It's too dark underneath the table. I think I got that name wrong the last time, but I think it's the Clubman, yes. At any rate, that is going to, what they're getting called Union Jack 2, which is going to be another set of decals for it in its basically factory stock appearance. I need to look that up because it's going to bother me. So talk amongst yourselves while we type here. Countryman, there we go. It's the Mini Cooper Countryman. Just called the Mini Crossover in Japan, which is why it's listed the way it is. But yes, the Countryman is going to be the kit there. So this is just a really odd kit from Hasegawa. We talked about it when this stuff was announced a few months ago, that this was going to get another reissue with new decals, because it was such an odd choice of a car to begin with, because there's never been anything else with this. It's always just been alternative decal schemes. At any rate, you're going to get a reissue of the Toyota Celica 1600 ST. So this is the 1973 Toyota Celica. Kit, again, been around since the 1990s. This is going to get a new resin grille and a new resin rear end tail light piece that will convert it from the GT trim that it's always been in to an ST trim, which is a trim level down below. So this month is basically Hasegawa making money out of things they've had for a while. So resin part all the things, or resin grill all the things. You're going to get a reissue of the 1968 Marathon de Route Mazda Cosmo race car. This is going to be the super detail version. So it's going to have the engine back in it. You may recall they just reissued the Cosmo with the engine stuff in it in the civilian trim. This is going to have a couple of new resin pieces added to it to more conform to the racing version of the rotary engine. But again, that'll be another $65, $70 model kit because of all the white metal and photo etch and stuff that's included. You're going to get a reissue of the Suzuki Jimny with what they're calling the Resin Camper Girl. So yes, Resin Girl, all the things. New sculpt there on the existing Suzuki Jimny kit. And then last but not least, we're going to get a reissue of the 1989 Japanese Touring Car Championship Series WED Sport sponsored AE92 Corolla 11. So this is on, of course, the newer, I guess we're 2 years into it now, the newer Tool AE92 Corolla Levin kit that they did, that they did a street car for, and then the race car version of this car is for the Fuji Intertech race. It finished second in its class in that race, so it's the last race of the 1989 season. So, it's an interesting scheme. The creation of all the wheels that they did a few releases back on the A101, they came with the new wheel sets, allow this A92 to exist, so that was handy, as you guys who follow the channel know. JTCC, all the things. And that'll take us over to Aoshima to round out the month of September. 4 more Grand Champions kits: the 330 Gloria, the what is known as the 10 Soar, basically the first 1980s version of the Toyota Soar, a 430 Gloria, and the Toyota Celica Liftback. And then you're going to get the kit the car from the TV show Knight Rider, of course, kit in its season 1 format and kit in its season 3 format, a reissue of the 1989 Nissan Senna in its Obayashi tuner version, or really a VIP version, reissue of the K-Brake 2003 Toyota Celsior in its VIP version. And then the two big things for the fall for Aoshima at this point is going to be the brand new tool 2000 Pagani Zonda, along with a PE set for that will be sold separately. The Zonda has, of course, as we go through the weekly videos and catch up on them, we'll have some prototypes shots to show you for the engine and suspension. Looks very good. The mold is in and has been delivered, so that kit looks like its production will be on schedule and should be out at the end of this month, maybe early in October if things run a little late, but it's there and it's done. It's not going to be one of these things that goes on for months and months unless something with the tooling turns out to not be right when they start doing production with it. And then the other new tool is the 69 Toyota 2000 GT that represents that last sort of late model version of the 2000 GT that does not get covered by the Hasegawa kit. This is a curbside. It is something akin to this new trend that a lot of the Japanese companies are going with, or at least, well, Fujimi did it. Now Aoshima is doing it with the Liberty Walk Hurricane, and now this kit with it sort of being an easier kit, lower parts content. You're going to get water slide decals and some vinyl applique style decals, so it's marketed as a bridging point between their 1/32 scale snap tight line and their full-on, if you will, glue kits. So it'll be, if you have a Liberty Walk Hurricane, you know exactly what I mean, because that kit came with decals and a whole sheet of vinyl stickers, because it again runs that line right between where you start building your models and painting them and water slide decals, and where you're going to assemble the kit straight out of the box, because everything is more or less molded in color, and the vinyl appliques will do a lot of the detail painting. That's a bad word to use for that, but you know what I mean. So that 2000 GT is going to have that, and it will have a separate PE set sold separately as well. So for the above average, I hate to phrase it that way, but beginners, traditionally beginners don't use PE. You're working on your just getting model kits built. You're not worrying about replacing mesh and things like that. So for your above average and to advanced modeler, for example, you got your PE set for that too. So those are the two big new tool things from Aoshima for the fall. They're not going to have anything announced for the rest of the fall, the way Hasegawa will, the way Tamiya invariably will, for things that should have been at the All Japan Model and Hobby Show, which should have happened in October, but has been canceled due to COVID. So don't expect anything from Aoshima, but don't look that necessarily as a bad thing, because here are your fall new tool kits. So there's that. In the straight reissue train, you have a reissue of the 2015 Lamborghini Aventador SV, the 99 Mazda MX-5, the NB second gen, reissue of the 1990 Toyota Century, 91 Mitsubishi Delica Star Wagon, 71 Nissan Skyline, 2000 GT, 82 Toyota Celica XX, 99 Nissan Silvia Spec R, the 1998 rather, BN Sports Toyota Mark II Tourer 5, the 1999 Nissan Silvia Vertex, and then a couple sets of wheels here for the 20-inch Work Schwartz and the AVS Model F7, along with the wing sets coming back. So Wing Parts Volume 1, Wing Parts Volume 2, and what is known as the Aoshima Custom Parts, which is a mix of some wings, a racing seat, a tachometer, and a few other little bits and pieces that are sort of just accessory pieces that Aoshima kicks out every now and then. So that, guys, yeah, that wraps this one up. So hopefully there's a few things on there that trip your trigger. There will be more round 2 kits as we go into the fall. If you've seen other people talking about them, don't panic. But for whatever the reason is, there's only just the one this month. There's several right now on the slate for October, so we'll catch up with it. But for September shipping, whatever it is, you just get the one. I am looking forward to, of course, the JTC car, and then I think I picked up both the rally kits as well as that Celica ST. So it's a quieter month, not quiet last month where I didn't have anything on pre-order at all, but again, nothing. Oh, of course, I have the Zonda, the 2000 GT for Mayoshima on order because they're new tools. But yeah, 5 kits, that's not too bad for me for a month. It's probably a lot of people who are new to the channel going, 5 moto kits, holy, what are you doing? But yeah, that's a slow month for us. So again, that wraps up this video. I hope everybody had a great Labor Day weekend, and we'll see you guys on the other side.